Believe it or not, it's that time of year again. The leaves are falling, there's a chill in the air, and there's pumpkins everywhere. Pumpkins that will be headed for the trash by the end of the season. Unless, of course, you get them from the trash. Renee, why are you holding a big old bundle of trash, you might ask? Okay, you might not ask, but go with me on this. Because in this video, in several ways, I'm going to show you how to create your very own pumpkins from trash. Yes, discarded materials such as paper, plastics, even fabrics can be used to create your very own decorative pumpkins. You'll need paper such as newspaper or brown packing paper, masking tape, any type of twine or string, and of course, slip. For anyone who didn't get the memo, let me show you slip. This mixture is simply a combination of white glue and water blended to the consistency of whole milk. There's no measurements, just blend it till it's the consistency of whole milk. This mixture was inspired by ceramicists who use a mixture of water and clay to smooth their pottery. This works the same way. I even borrowed the name slip from the ceramicist version. You'll be using this mixture not just to adhere the paper to the shapes, but to smooth the surface of your shapes. To start, you'll need to shape your plastic, paper, and or fabric into disc or wheel shapes. Just chunky, round, flattish shapes is good. You'll tape them together using the masking tape. While it's not necessary to cover your entire shape with tape, the more secure the shape will be while you're paper macheing, obviously. Next, I tied a knot in my cord and I taped it to the bottom of the shape and started wrapping the shape with the cord. Think pumpkin bumps. You are going to be wrapping this cord repeatedly until you develop enough bumps to create a natural looking pumpkin shape. It's easier than it may sound. You just have to have patience and not be looking for perfection. Seriously, how natural would a perfect pumpkin look? Anyway, why make your pumpkins rather than purchase a foam pumpkin? Foam pumpkins are everywhere, they're accessible, they're easy to carve, etc., etc. But when you're done with them, where do they end up? Floating in the ocean somewhere, maybe? I like making pumpkins like this because they are keeping this particular trash out of a landfill and I can decorate them however I like. Anyway, once I'm happy with the look of the pumpkin, I tie it off and I tape it to secure it, and I'm ready to move on to another pumpkin. At the time of this video, it is the first week of fall with the holidays right on its heels, so be sure to keep your eye out for more season-inspired projects and videos on this channel. For the next pumpkin, I took a slightly different approach. I used less masking tape. I used just enough to secure the plastic so it didn't pop back open and it was the general shape, and then I just took my cord and began to wrap. And I really actually kind of preferred this particular approach and this pumpkin because the plastic had a nice look to it. Once I wrapped it, it was smooth and it was really nice to paper mache this one. I actually like the end result of this approach so much that I would be interested in creating a series of pieces using this approach and maybe just leaving them like they are or maybe even spray painting them. But I could picture if you had oodles of waste paper and plastic, you could create just an abundance of pumpkins for, say, a display or something like that. Very anthropology. I'm liking the look of this, but let's see if we can shortcut. No, I guess not. So let's keep going. We're going to now create a bigger pumpkin by stuffing more plastic, etc., together and taping several bundles together to make an even larger pumpkin. Side note, I realize I'm switching between tenses as I narrate this video, but I am not reading from a script. I am talking to you naturally to describe this process. I hope it's clear and concise enough for you to understand and possibly translate into your own project. And with the final pumpkin shape created, we are ready to begin paper macheing. This series combines paper, plastics, and fabrics as we talked about earlier, and of course twine to finish off all the shapes. Group shot, and let's do it. Next on the agenda is to prepare the paper to apply onto the shapes. I rip strips of paper because they're easy to dip into my slip and to then apply to the shapes. Each shape needs to be covered completely, including all of the crevices and over the entire surface, and there needs to be a minimum of 3 to 5 layers to create a nice hard surface. Here I'm employing a technique I call chopsticks. I do it to remove the excess slip from the paper as I'm layering. I used real wood chopsticks for this purpose for years until I determined that my fingers were easier and more sustainable. Anyway, once you've done plenty of layers and you've allowed your pumpkins to dry, it's time to decorate. But wait. If there are still soft areas on your pumpkins, it's okay to go back and apply additional layers of paper until you reach your desired hardness. There's no reason why you shouldn't expect a nice hard surface on your pieces. You just have to put in the work. And now, because I'm multitasking between adding additional layers to some of these pumpkins and doing some dry work, I'm going to be slipping on these rubber gloves and getting busy. I only use the rubber gloves when I'm multitasking and I'm trying to do several different things at one time so I can switch back and forth quickly. A note about paper. You may see me using so much brown packing paper in this and other videos on my channel, and that is not because of a preference for brown packing paper over newspaper. It is because newspaper is in much shorter supply these days and brown packing paper is in flux. Finally, I didn't want to end this video without sharing another tip about layering. As you're applying paper layers to your piece, you may notice the piece getting very inundated with moisture, and at this point you can start to apply drier pieces of paper into the mix. Just do a few drier pieces and to help absorb some of the moisture and the slip, and then go back to dipping your pieces. And if necessary, use additional slip to smooth the paper as you go. Smooth the surface continually and you will be happy with your results. I am looking forward to painting and embellishing these pumpkins, and I'm actually going to be creating a series of 5 shorts sharing how I finish each pumpkin in the days following this video, so keep an eye out for that. One more tip for the road: if you want to stack your pumpkins like this, I recommend grabbing a dollar store broomstick handle. This will make stacking and keeping your pumpkins stable easier. Use a hacksaw to cut the handle to the correct height and cut holes in your pumpkins to put them on the handle. I have yet to decide whether I'm going to stack my pumpkins, but the beauty of this project is you can make your pumpkins whatever size you like. Anyway, I hope you are inspired and I thank you for watching.